There is no conflict between science and religion. Science is attempting to answer the question of how things work, and religion is attempting to answer a totally separate and different question. The question of why are we here? What is our purpose? And what are our responsibilities? If science comes to the point where it knows everything, understands how everything in the world works, what's at the edges of the universe, and how the tiniest quantum particle functions and interacts with one another, the question will still stand of why we are here and to whom we owe allegiance. Religion has been held by all men in all places, in all conditions, in all times, in all cultures, and to say that we now know that religion is false seems to me to be extremely silly. We know no such thing. And it will never be a scientist who, based on science, will tell us that. There are scientists cum celebrities who will make that claim, but they're not making that claim based on a scientific experiment they have done. They're making that claim based on a philosophical position that they have taken. Maybe that philosophical position is that they are materialists. And if so, I was once listening to the radio. I'm afraid it was National Public Radio that I listened to fairly often, almost exclusively. But the man came on and said, well, now that we know that all of our choices are just illusions, how do we cope with life under that knowledge? And the answer is, of course, you don't know that. You know no such thing. We know that there is an association between physical occurrences and states of mind, but we don't know that those physical occurrences cause that state of mind. They are only associated. And in fact, if it is true that everything we are, everything we say, everything we think is no more than a complicated chemical reaction of baking soda mixed with vinegar or some other chemical reaction that is predetermined based on the laws of nature, then really we need to shut up. This video, your thoughts about this video, anybody's thoughts or averals about anything, they're all just predetermined chemical reactions. Your love for your child, your devotion to your spouse, your patriotism toward country, these are worthless items. And I do not believe that is true. And all men at all times, in all places, in all cultures, in all economic conditions have also agreed with that. Now, you may remember Fred Gailey in one of my favorite movies, Miracle on 34th Street. The character Fred Gailey said, faith is believing something when common sense tells you not to. And that is a common definition of faith. That is obviously not true. It worked well for Miracle on 34th Street. Faith is once you've decided that something is true, that you will have enough character, because faith is a virtue, you will have enough character to continue believing that when the peer pressure starts, when it's going to be very convenient to steal that money Are you going to continue to believe that it is better to obey God than to be a thief? My truck broke down, I'm sorry to say, last week, and they sent out another truck driver. Now, I've been wearing my mask, as much as I can because all competent and unbiased authority has, in my opinion, all competent and unbiased authority has agreed that mask wearing is what I can do to help my country, my family, my neighbor. And yet, when the man picked me up to drive me home, he wasn't wearing a mask. He was telling me how, I won't go into all the things he was saying. I didn't wear a mask all the way home in the cab of that truck. And for me, that was a lapse. That was the wrong thing to do. I should have been wearing that mask all the way home in that truck. Faith is choosing to continue in what we know to be true, even when it is very inconvenient, and when it may mean that we will be maligned, possibly. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for that's the way the really wonderful people all through history have been treated. They've all been maligned. But that's what faith is. It has no. Ask Louis Pasteur. Ask any chemist who's trying to figure out a better formula for a better detergent or a better form of cosmetics. All these scientists work their entire life long in real science. Ask the scientists who put together the COVID vaccine and worked ridiculously hard to come up with these mRNA, and then Johnson & Johnson and Merck and Pfizer and Moderna and AstraZeneca. These scientists have worked tremendously hard. It has nothing to do with their philosophical position on whether or not God exists. And their science is just as valid, be they believers or be they not.